because I'm in a natural environment here, I managed to also free up my mind just by looking at the ocean or feeling the weather or being connected to the natural elements. And that gives me an opportunity to sometimes tap into that creative moment or to find that moment of calm.
Thank you for making the time to speak with us. I've been doing a lot of reading about the Patina Group. It's like the hottest new group in like basically Southeast Asia. And I believe that you're sitting in the most opulent new hotel development in the Indian Ocean.
Yeah, we're very fortunate. I think, you know, we have a very visionary developer in the Pontiac Land Group. Obviously, we're in a unique configuration. It's actually an archipelago that we're in. So it's a conglomerate of 4 islands. So it's quite unique, and it was built and developed to offer our guests with more diversity, right? When you go to the Maldives, some guests sometimes feel that they're stuck on an island and that there's not enough things to do. So our owners actually really decided to take a different approach and offer something where people can, you know, have more diversity across the archipelago and travel amongst those 4 properties. And also for our team, it offers a bit more of a community rather than just working on living on the job. Sometimes when you live on an island in the Maldives, you work in the same place and you live in the same place. So
hang on, you've got 4 islands. You've got two Patina properties on either island. You've got, I think Ritz-Carlton is on another one, and then you've got 1 island just for the staff. Is that right?
Yeah, so we have the Patina Island, which is 41 hectares. Then the Ritz-Carlton Island, which is, I think, 16 hectares. And then we have also under development the Capella Island, and then the staff island, the campus island. Yeah.
So the staff actually get their own island. And what sort of facilities are on that island for the staff?
So we have restaurants, we have recreation facilities, we have sports facilities. So we really want to elevate the life on island for the team by having more facilities and activities available to them. We also have, I think a first in the industry actually, we will have a campus operated in terms of education with the Lausanne Hotel School, one of the best hotel schools in the world, because we believe that it's important to, give the team access to, learning opportunities, and with that we hope we can retain, the best talent in the industry. And
but is the island in itself a world first, like an island for staff?
No, there are some islands that have separate islands for the staff, but the way this is developed is definitely above anything that we've seen before, and it's comparable to islands locally like Hulumale, or islands with larger developments. So we have apartment complexes of high build quality. So actually, what we could say, it's almost a 3 or 4-star resort that is built for the staff only. Yeah.
That's incredible. But look, the really incredible story about these Fari Islands is that they're man-made, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I think, that obviously around the world, there's a lot of development taking place, and there are some, man-made islands across the globe. The approach here, though, was quite sustainable, if you may use that term. And let me explain it. If you would develop an existing island, it's almost inevitable that you build across the reef that is already there, or that you remove some of the vegetation on an island, an indigenous island, and create infrastructure, right? So even for existing islands, it's quite challenging to develop in a sustainable manner. Yeah. What we have done is, because we had a blank canvas, basically, we have, if you like, an archipelago. So you have to envision that as an ellipse shape of islands or reefs that are surrounding, a lagoon. So on the inside of that ellipse shape, you have shallower waters, and on the outside you have deeper waters. And the outer ring is obviously coral reef. And we built the islands within the lower water sections on the inside of those reefs. So we didn't build on top of those reefs. And we actually used sand that came from very deep ocean. So we didn't disturb, the sand here in this location.
So the islands are basically made from sand scooped from very deep in the ocean. The coral reef was protected, and you've made these 4 incredible islands, and sustainability is obviously a really big focus now. Is that something the luxury tourist is looking for?
I believe so. And I would, in the past have sometimes you refer to guilt-free travel or, travel with a purpose. We have to be factual in everything that we do. We have to share the details of, how we operate here. We have to, share the truth. And let's face it, global travel is still, you could challenge if it's sustainable or not. We fly on planes. There's a lot of impact on all kinds of things that we do. So what we try to do is make conscious choices towards sustainability. So, for example, we have a huge focus towards our amenities that are developed based with sustainable ingredients.
You also produce your own water, don't you? You bottle your own water there?
Correct. Yeah. So we have a system that's coming from Europe called Nordic. We have our own mineralized water here on the island, and obviously we don't ship in water instead. So there's an impact there. But that same water we also use to produce our amenities. We work with a company called Heckles, and Heckles has a motto which says "From the ocean to the ocean." So
that's your beauty products. They're your beauty products, and that's a British brand, isn't it? I know the one.
Yeah, correct. It's first of all ingredients that are from the ocean, so they're sustainably harvested, and they have also no impact on the environment. You have to understand. I'll pick the sand up. This sand here is completely connected to the ocean. So if you dig 1 meter deep, you will be in an ecosystem that seeps into the ocean. So any shower gel or material that you use here on island, if it's chemical, it will seep into the reef. Right, so we wanted to choose items that were more sustainable and didn't have that kind of impact.
That's amazing. What amazes me is that came from England, but there you go, because they don't have, a big focus on the ocean in that country, and they're producing that sort of product. It's fantastic. But look, what we'd love to you to do is talk us through the 90 rooms and suites that you have there. I read that some of them have walls that go down 3 walls so that you can have open air experience. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so basically our architect is Marcio Kogan. He's a very well-known Brazilian architect, but he came from a residential background initially. He won
his
a
first
lot of
hotel.
awards.
This is his first hotel, I believe, isn't it?
Yeah, and he's done amazing jobs in premium residences, mostly in South America, but across the world actually. And one of the things that he terms as biophilic design is actually an understated design that leaves you connected with the environment. So we have, as you said, windows that open on 3 sides completely. It's a very, sorry to use this term, expensive, but also very sustainable system called Panorama. And they open seamless so that you can completely connect to the outdoors. And it has a higher insulation value. So from an energy efficiency, we also have better, it's triple glazed, right? So we don't have a loss of temperature as much as you would see with the more classical window frames that you would see in other properties.
And you have an incredible residence we looked at pictures of, which is all glass right on the ocean. I believe it's a 3-bedroom luxurious residence.
Yeah, we call it the beach house, and it has its own 25-meter pool, outdoor cabanas, seating areas, sunset views. It's really an opulent residence, actually, because we also see that some of our guests really want to be, I would say, left alone. A lot of people have very busy lives. So when they come to us, they want to disconnect and get all the services that we have. So we can, have our own chef going to the villas. We can do massage treatments. If people want to be left alone and just spend, a good week or even longer in a villa, they sometimes come to us. Yeah.
Wonderful. And there's 10 restaurants that your guests can access. And the one that caught my eye, I think it's called Roots, which is a plant-based restaurant.
Yeah, that's correct. Obviously, there is a big focus on a global level towards or shift towards plant-based food. We actually have our own garden as well. And in our garden, we have focused on more original DNA strands of seeds. So we're not just growing things in an organic or permaculture based garden, but we're also looking at the type of seed that we cultivate there, and we really want to get better nutritional values. Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot that you could teach some other hotel groups around the world. Don't you agree, in terms of sustainability and the very issues that you're talking about?
I don't know if we can teach, but I think we need to stay curious. We need to buck the trend. And to be honest, we were fortunate, and this is an awkward thing to use as an analogy, but we were fortunate that COVID gave us a bit more time to go into the next level of details of differentiation. And we're a new brand. Patina is part of a company with the Capella Hotel Group that has so much experience and history behind it. The owning company is already 35 years in the industry. Capella Hotel Group is about 17 years in operation now. So they have a wealth of experience, not only in operating years, but also within the team. But the difference sometimes is when you start a new brand, the question is, what do you do to differentiate yourself, to add something to the market? And I think because of COVID, we had a bit more time to focus on that aspect and work together also with very interesting companies and I would say co-creators. You need to find like-minded people that are willing to work with you.
And what's it like for you? You've been in the Maldives. I've lost track. I couldn't even work out how many years. What is it like for you living there? Do you do you long to be in a city and be around hustle and bustle?
The beauty of being on a remote location like this is that I'm connected to nature, right? So in my job, I work sometimes 24/7. You have a very continuous operation that you run when you run a resort or anywhere in a hotel industry.
Yeah, agreed. And where do you like to travel?
I like to combine cities, and sometimes they can be the largest cities in the world. One city that I truly enjoy, Istanbul.
What do you like about Istanbul? Give us some insider secrets.
What I like about Istanbul is that it's a city where it's basically a global melting pot, right? People coexist with different religions. Sometimes in different districts, you can have a completely different energy. There's I think a good balance for quality of life. Sometimes it can be as simple as a coffee, and sometimes it can be ultra design in more premium districts. So I think it's a nice, inspiring city. But having said that, I also enjoy going on a safari or being in touch with different parts of the world where you travel into nature.
And do you think that's what the average luxury tourist is going to be also looking for in the future?
I think so. I think we stripped away a bit of nonsense, right, over the last couple of years. And I see two trends. I think in luxury, people have a lot of focus on quality from the core. So they look at, in a kitchen, they don't look just at the name of the chef, but they look at the ingredients and look at where the ingredients are coming from. They have a very, very detailed analysis of every component that makes, luxury come together. The other aspect, I think, is that people want to feel that they've learned something or that they can take away something from a journey. So I think educational travel without being a teacher, but more informative and revealing some unique aspects to a location is very important, So, and that should be personalized because everybody has a different interest. So I don't think you can just say, I'm going to educate you and push some information down your throat. You need to understand in luxury, I think, what people are curious about and then have, tailored programming
100%.
around that.
So like we do with all of our guests, Marco, where to from here for you?
That's a question that I ask myself as well. It's a unique privilege actually to be allowed to launch this amazing development and brand. And I honestly don't have the answer about what's next. For me, it's more important to do something well, and the job is not done. So I don't want to focus on what's next. I just want to make sure that we become, a stable and successful brand and property, so that we can continue to build the asset that we have here to the next level.
Well, look, I do spend a lot of time in Asia, and a lot of our audience is from Asia and Europe. So I'm sure that they will see this and they want to come to your beautiful resort. And hopefully I get to see it and meet you at some stage as soon as we can.
It would be lovely, Renae. And thank you actually for making time to speak to me.
Fantastic.
Thank you
Thanks so much, Marco. Take care.
Thank you, Renae. Have a good day.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.
Don't forget to subscribe here and follow us on Instagram and Facebook for regular travel updates. You can also hear our episodes on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.